Okay. Hello. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to It's Always Now. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm Jessica, and this is Krystal. Today, we have a very special guest coming to join us for a conversation. So we wanted to kind of kick off the podcast with that, so he doesn't have to sit around and wait for us. So I'm going to pull him into the call right now, and we're going to jump right in. So here we go. Woo-hoo. All right, let me switch the scene. Hello, how are you? Can you hear us? Oh, no.
Oh, I think he's muted.
Oh, he's muted. Oh, hold on. Let
Yeah.
me... Oh, my bad. Its server muted him. Hello, Reverend Lee? Are you there?
I don't know if we can unmute him. Not like
I-
on Zoom.
Oh, I did. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. Let me go back here. So, hey, good morning, Pockets. How are you? We've got a special guest joining us, but I'm not sure if his stuff is working because we didn't get to test this ahead of time. But here we go. I'm going to try again.
It's our first time.
Are you there? Let me unmute him again. Hello, are you there? Can you hear us?
I think it's still muted.
Oh,
I
he
see the
probably
little mute
needs
icon.
help with his...
He probably has to unmute it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I unmuted him from the server side, so I'm not sure if he can hear me. Let me... Oh, this is our first time, so we're trying to get all of the bugs worked out. Let me message him and see, like, if he needs help, because Discord can be kind of wonky sometimes, so...
Tell him to click on that microphone at the bottom left. So, hi people, how are you? How's the week going? Ours has been pretty good. We've been having some fun. I know our screen's my screen's wonky right now. There, I put it back. But yeah, we are trying something new today, and we think it'll be kind of fun.
We're
It'll
trying.
open up a new door for us and for others. But yeah, we've never had 3 people on the show, and so we weren't even sure how it was going to look, and we figured it out.
So you and I are going to move up to the collaborating channel, and we'll see if that works, okay? I'm going to move you.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe this is better.
Okay.
All right, video. You got to share your video, Krystal.
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so...
I've used this before, so that's why it's goofy.
I know. And us too. This is our first time doing anybody else on the show with us, so we're really excited that you're here.
So wait a second. So I'm with who else?
Hi.
So this is my best friend Krystal, and we are It's Always Now. And so, guys, this is Reverend Lee, and he has his own page. Tell us about your page, Reverend.
Well, I am, believe it or not, a minister, but I'm not a minister in the way that you think of a minister. Because basically what I teach is how to live consciously so that you can create and experience a life filled with love and fulfillment.
Yes.
And so
Love that.
when I'm talking about love, I've got a different way of looking at it than everyone else's, because I've spent all of my life figuring out what this thing called love was. And here's what it is. I can look at you and I can say I love you because I can say I accept you.
Exactly. I love that.
This is
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
So this is kind
so
of what
when
we
you
talk
say
about too.
accept, that means, you know, Misty, that doesn't mean I accept part of you. I have to accept all of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, that's where everyone gets mucked up. They get in a relationship and they get romantic, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been in romantic relationships. Oh, I love you so much. Oh, you're my little schnugger bottom or whatever it is. That's not love. That's lust.
Yes,
That's just
exactly.
pure lust.
It's all selfish love, right? It's like the selfish illusion of love.
So the question becomes, first off, is can you love yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So can you look in the mirror and say, I accept me as I am?
Exactly.
The other day I was teaching a class on the mastery of love. And I've got, I don't know, 15, 16 people in it. Most of the people were women. And I asked the women this question. When you put on makeup, are you putting makeup on because it makes you feel good? Or are you putting it on because you want to make someone else think you look good?
Exactly.
Right.
And
That's
there's
what
a
we were
real
just talking
difference
about.
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
just talking about makeup. We were
We were.
having a long conversation about like why we are socially programmed to think that we need to wear makeup in order to go anywhere. Like, you know, there's some girls that are like, oh, I can't go, you know, out of the house. I can't leave the house without a full face of makeup. And it's because socially we're programmed to think that and believe that about ourselves, that we're not good enough without it to be seen by others. Like, so yeah, I mean, I feel that deep down in my soul.
Even take it a little bit deeper. Think about this, that you really are a domesticated person.
Exactly.
And everybody is a domesticated person, because the time you came out of your mother, your mom and dad were domesticating you.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they were
And
also
then
domesticated.
society, then school.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so sad. Like
What is it?
the cycle.
And social media is horrific at domesticating.
I know.
Oh yeah.
I just read a book this weekend called Deep Work. And that book really described how we allow Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, phones, texting, that we never sit down and focus on anything for any length of time. So everything in our lives are really shadow, and we're getting dopamine hit after dopamine hit, and we don't accomplish anything. We say, by the end of the day, you've wasted the whole day.
Exactly.
Yes. Totally.
Yeah,
wasted the
we
whole
talked about social media on our show before, about how we need to like avoid it as much as we can, because it's really programming us in really negative ways. And like everything that you see on social media is fake. It's all like the illusion of what people want you to see in their life. And so comparing yourself, which a lot of people do, they compare their life to others, and it's just unhealthy. It makes you set the standard of living for yourself that's unattainable, because it's not real.
And so what is comparison is the death of joy.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't get any simpler. Here's
Yeah.
the key thing. If you go out and you buy a Mercedes-Benz today, and you're just juiced beyond belief, you're driving down the road, and all of a sudden a Bentley pulls up next to you. And you look at the Bentley and you say, oh my God, I want the Bentley. All of a sudden the Mercedes is not enough.
Yeah.
And here's the key thing. That happens in relationships all the time.
I know. Always looking for the next best thing, or, you know, the grass is always greener on the other side. That whole illusion too. It's sad.
The not being satisfied with what you have and always wanting more. Somebody actually was posting yesterday, what amount of money do you have to make before, it doesn't matter how much more money you make, it's all the same, it's all relative. And there were so many responses. I think that money doesn't attain happiness, and that's what people were trying to, like, they were measuring this happiness based on how much money you make.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you could be making $30,000 a year and be happy if you're not frivolously spending, and you're budgeting, and you're being conscious of your money. Or you can make, you know, $100,000 and be in debt up to your ears and be really miserable. I mean, it's all a perspective and how you look at things.
Yeah, they say that if you're making $75,000 a year, you are making enough to live a pretty comfortable life. And so that's basically saying you're getting your real needs met. You've got yourself a place to live, you've got good food, you've got a vehicle to get around and stuff. Obviously, $70,000, you're going to pay probably $25,000, $30,000 in taxes. You come right out of that, and so now you're down to about $45,000. So you're really living on $4,000 a month of take home.
Yeah.
Well, $2,000 for an apartment, yada, yada, yada. Happiness, well, here's the illusion. You can be happy all the time.
Yeah.
That is the opioid of the masses.
Yeah.
Yep.
I liked what you I watched a lot of your talks and stuff. And one thing that really stood out to me that struck me was your conversation about contrast and how it's necessary and it's never going away. But what it really means for us, you know, because we were talking about like all of the stuff that was going on at the Capitol and stuff like that, right? So I don't know if you want to touch on that a little bit.
Oh, love to.
Okay.
Here's the interesting thing. We have an ego, a mind, a personality, and we have senses. And so the real purpose of life is to fully experience it. But in order to experience life, there has to be contrast. And so, you know, I'm a part of a movement that's called the Centers for Spiritual Living. When it was started I think it was started in the 20s, 30s, 1920, 30 by Ernest Holmes. It was called religious science. By that, it meant you take a spiritual principle and you prove it. Does it work or does it not work? Well, the movement now has this idea that they want a world that works for everyone.
Yeah.
Guess what? You don't have to want that. It already is.
Exactly.
Because the energy you put out attracts back to you. So the question this is where I really people get into this idea that we can have peace on earth. Not going to ever happen.
Yeah.
Because there's got to be contrast. Otherwise, there's no experience of life.
You have to have trials and tribulations to experience this life. You have to know the dark to know the light.
Exactly.
We talk about that all the time.
Yeah, it's a dance.
All the time. I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Because it helps us grow.
I don't look forward to it, but I know it's coming. And I also say you don't have to stay in the negative contrast long.
Right.
Because it's your perception that keeps you locked in.
Exactly.
You always have control of that.
Yeah.
So let me play with you girls. Let me ask you this question. Girls, ladies, women, whatever you want to be called. I am not politically correct. Don't think I ever will be.
I don't think we are either.
Oh, Krystal, one second. Krystal's
let's
camera's
start-
frozen.
Oh no.
Restart it.
It looks great to me.
Yeah. It's frozen on YouTube. It's frozen for me on my screen. Try to refresh.
Not on mine. You both look great on mine.
Okay.
So when you
there
say
you go.
refresh, you mean restart the
Just your camera. Okay,
Oh, what
perfect.
happened?
Sorry about that.
Technical
Let's
difficulties.
play together.
Okay.
Let's start off and say, Krystal, what's your biggest challenge right now?
Gosh, balancing time. Balancing time has been a really struggle for me because I'm trying to do all these things. I'm homeschooling my kids. I work full time. I do a podcast with Jessica, and I'm trying to do a music production class. So I have like all these things I want to do, but I also have like people I need to help meet their needs. And for me, that's been my challenge right now. Can't really think of anything too challenging because I've been through a lot this last year, and I've kind of made my life more simple, and I'm so much happier with it being more simple that even like this little bit of stuff is a little more challenging than I've been used to. But yeah, balance has been a challenge lately.
That's the best word in the world you just said, balance.
Yeah.
Because that's what people don't have, and it's critical to your life. One of my favorite teachers is a gentleman by the name of Dr. John DeMartini. And Dr. John is an expert in human behavior. And what Dr. John teaches is that each of us, you, me, everybody, has 4,628 human traits. And those traits can turn into values. And let me explain what I mean by values. Values are not honesty, integrity. They're things you want more of in your life. And here's the key thing. Everyone has a different top 5 hierarchy.
Yes.
So my number 1 value in life is to become more aware. Number 2 value in life is to teach. Number 3 value in life is to build community and have intimate relationships. My number 4 value is health and well-being. And my number 5 is to be financially comfortable to do what I want, when I want, how I want. Those are the 5 things that mean the most to me. When I look at my day, I ask the question, when Jessica hit me and said, why don't you be on my podcast? I said, does it fit any of my top 5 values? Because if the answer was no, then I would have said no to her.
Yeah.
I do nothing that does not support my top 5 values.
Yes.
And
exactly.
then that gives me time.
Yeah, setting boundaries.
Yes.
Definitely like having your boundaries in order so that you can reach your goals. Like that's kind of what we talk about too, is it's probably one of the hardest things to do when you're just starting out, but it's the most necessary, you know. So
Jess, let's go to you. What's your biggest opportunity that you're facing?
like my issue, like my biggest
Well, you call it anything
trial.
you want. I call it an opportunity.
I would say I've been doing a lot of shadow work lately, and so that's been like in the forefront of my mind, is trying to heal and trying to also, while I'm healing myself, help others learn so that they can heal themselves. And so that's like my main thing right now.
And I'm a bit controversial on shadow work.
Yeah.
Because I think the more you focus and the more you dig up the dirt, or you attract of the dirt.
Yeah, that's true.
So I always look at and say, okay, here's what I'm feeling that's really negative. Okay, here's what's got me in a grumpy mood, or I'm frustrated, whatever it is. I ask the question, what's the opposite of that? Because the opposite is what you're going to want. And then I say, okay, that means that I must have an unconscious belief in my mind that the other way is what I'm going to get, and realize that everything is a result of what you believe. So your life is an outpicturing of your beliefs. So let me define for you what I say beliefs are. Beliefs are your thoughts, words, actions, and feelings aligned toward a specific result, held persistently and consistently, either consciously or unconsciously.
Yes.
So if you've got this hidden belief that's giving you a bunch of crap, tell people, build a new belief of what you want.
Yeah.
Put all of your energy there.
Yes.
And I also tell people, don't focus on your weaknesses, focus on your strengths. You're not going to fix your weaknesses. Your weaknesses are there because you don't give a hoot about them.
Yeah. That's true too. That's really good advice.
Very true. That's really good.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to believe anything I say. And I tell that to all my students. Don't believe me, but test it for yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you can prove it, you own it then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we talk a lot about going and experiencing things for yourself, and, you know, going on your journey and having different life experiences so that when you do come back around to things that you've heard before, you understand what they really mean, you know, and self-revelation and how important self-revelation is. And I think Krystal kind of wanted to talk about self-revelation today a little bit too, because that's something that nobody can take away from you, you know?
No. You have the power to ask a question and to ponder on it and to get the answer that is meant for you. And a lot of people are seeking answers right now. There's a lot of confusion in the world. There's a lot of mistrust. You don't know who's telling you the truth these days. And maybe that's always been the way it's been, but like right now there's just people feeling lost and a lot of uncertainty. And if people realize, I mean, I'm realizing, I know this, is that you can find the answers for your truth and for what you need to cope and to get through and to find happiness and joy and learn. And sometimes you gotta read the same thing over and over and over again to finally understand it eventually. Like, you might just have to keep hearing it until what you're supposed to learn from it happens. I think we experience some lessons over and over again until we finally learn what we're meant to learn. But yeah, like I think that's
so. Here's a great question I'll throw at you. What's true?
Yeah.
Haha.
Yeah, we talk about that
I mean-
too.
I mean, I can take
Exactly.
you, I
What
can
is
take you
true?
down the rabbit hole, and I can take you all the way back, and everything is perception.
Mm-hmm. It's
all
all about how
perception,
you
yeah.
how you choose to see the world and how you choose to live your life.
Well, okay. So I said to Jessica, and I've talked to my husband about this a couple times. I said, how can this person, say you've got this person over here and they feel like their truth is truth. And then you got this person over here and they feel their truth is truth. And they're completely conflicting. How can they both get these feelings of overwhelming truth if they conflict? And that's because I believe truth is a personal thing, and it's perspective and perception of each individual person. Everybody has a different way of interpreting things, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong or bad. That's why we're all different. That's
Yeah.
why
I think
you like apples, I like bananas. Like everybody's different.
yeah, but I think like when you boil it all down to the nitty-gritty of what really is behind your truth, it's if it is true, it's love, because love is the highest vibrational energy in the universe, and it is, to me, the only thing that is true, because it
And
is
so-
always itself.
So let's really play. Boy, I didn't expect to go this deep here, but let's play with that. I love this. I love this. So when you say everything is love, let's break. What does that mean? Because most people will hear that everything is love. What the
Yeah.
frig does that mean?
Yeah, they don't agree because they're not really thinking about from the perspective of learning and growing. They're thinking of, their ego being affected
Yes.
in a negative way, or not the way that they want, but,
And so take it even back. So I don't know what people are listening, if they're religious, if they've got this, but everyone has an idea of God, or everyone has an idea of the infinite. I prefer to use the word infinite because the word God represents to me man giving this infinite intelligence human qualities.
Yeah.
Well, that's sort of silly. That's like saying God's Santa Claus. And that's what a lot of religions really treat God as.
yeah,
Well,
like
if I do this, you're a good little boy. Well, you'll get to come to heaven. Well,
Yeah.
no.
that's
that's
not
all
how it
made
works. Yeah.
So when I look at love from the ultimate state, from the infinite state is the observer. It observes everything. It does not see good or bad. So by not seeing good or bad and seeing everything, it's in total acceptance, which is the ultimate love.
Yeah, it's the
So
unconditional love for self.
So then we, to emulate that as the microcosm of the macrocosm, we learn to observe life. So I can sit and observe Jess. I can sit and I can observe
Krystal.
Krystal.
Yeah.
Got it. I just have to think for a second.
I know, you're good. You're good.
And when I look at them, I can say, oh, I see both sides. Because you can see both sides, because if you get yourself in tune, you can then read energy.
Yep.
So each of us is emulating an energy field that if you're aware, you can't hide from.
Yep.
And you know that. One of the things I talk about last night in my love class, people were talking about, what do you need to have a good relationship? And I said, well, first off, you got to be attracted to the person.
Definitely.
It's a physical, mental, emotional, balanced attraction. Secondly, here's really important. You got to feel safe.
Yes.
Yes.
If you don't feel safe, it's going to be awful.
Yeah.
It's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
Then the purpose of a relationship is to support and grow each other as you become more. And the fourth aspect that I throw out there is you got to have fun.
Exactly.
If it's not fun, why are you wasting your time?
Why are you doing it?
There's no point.
I
in
agree with
being in
that.
a boring
I
relationship.
look at people and I say, I've been married over 48 years to the same person.
Aw.
That's good.
My wife has no idea what's going to come out of my mouth.
That makes it fun.
Keep her on her toes.
She will always be laughing because I heard this. I heard Tony Robbins say this the other day. If you're not growing, you're dying.
Mm-hmm.
I say that to my kids all the time. I always tell them that ever since they were little. I was like, if you're not bettering yourself and you're not growing and if you're not learning something new and experiencing, then you're regressing into nothing. Like, you're going back down to zero, and you don't ever want to be at that point. So we always want to be bettering ourselves and learning and growing and experiencing new things and keeping things fresh, you know? So that's good. Yeah.
You've got kids. You're blessed. How old are your kids?
13 and 9.
Okay. And how old are yours, Krystal?
6, 12, and 20. Yes,
You
I have a story to
ladies are
tell.
fooling me because I think you're much younger than you are, or you started at 10 having kids.
We started pretty early.
I have.
Pretty early. I had my son at 15. So, yeah, I had a journey.
Mm-hmm.
You did. Now I've got a granddaughter that is not quite 3. She's 3 months shy of 3.
Aw.
She is the best teacher in the world
Yeah.
Yes.
because what she wants is to play.
Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't want you to tell her what to do. You want to play.
Yep.
And so I'll tell you, it brings out the best in me because she'll be on FaceTime and she'll be talking to me and I'll say, hey, do you want to talk to the Grinch?
Oh.
She goes, Baba, I want to talk to the Grinch. So I disappear, come back. I got a Grinch mask.
Yeah.
I put it on. I come back. Hey, Claire, it's the Grinch, you know, and I go through this whole routine and she's just going crazy on it.
I love
Yeah,
it.
that's amazing.
You know, you can do it with your kids now.
Yeah.
You don't realize that the power of just doing a quick, 30-second video,
Mm-hmm.
really outrageous, and sending it to your kids creates a memory they will never forget.
Agree.
It's true.
Agree.
and
Yeah.
that's the whole purpose of life for me too, is like just to play. We're supposed to enjoy this experience. We're supposed to be having fun and embracing
Not
each
working.
moment because
You don't need to be working all the time.
yeah. And like we named our podcast, It's Always Now, because it's always now. Time doesn't even exist. We just allow that, like, the schedules of society to, like, overrun our lives. And we need to come back to our now moment, and we need to really just enjoy it and embrace it with the ones that we love.
Yes.
So how do you become now with your kids? Share with me your technique.
You want to go first?
Oh man. So I mean, yeah, because the whole balance thing for me has been tough. I do school with them, so I'm getting a lot of time with them doing that, but that's not fun. At least to them, it's not fun. It's fun for me. I get excited when we're learning something new, but they're not always interested in the thing we're learning.
Yeah.
But you know, I try to like take them places and do fun things and show them new things together. You know, my husband likes to go on hikes and he takes the girls, and sometimes they go.
Yeah.
I'm not a big hiker, but I try. But like we'll go to the water park or we'll go to the beach and we'll go explore and we'll just see different things. And I love doing that with them. I love showing them and teaching them and having them
Yeah.
experience things that I love. I guess that's how I've been connecting with them and playing with them. I mean, hide and seek, dolls, whatever they want to do.
So have you talked to your kids and asked them the question, what are the 3 things that you love to do the most in your life? At any age, ask them that question.
I could probably answer that for all of. Well, I know at least one of the answers for each kid.
Yeah.
I could probably answer that for sure. My
Yeah,
daughter
but
actually
see,
sent me a quiz the other day.
I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you right now.
She's like,
Because
ask him.
the thing I know, I gotta rephrase it. The thing I'm learning is when I say I know something, I'm limiting.
Yeah, true.
Because all of a sudden I'm not open to a new idea. I'm not open to a greater possibility.
Yeah.
So here's a great one. Take sex.
Mm-hmm.
As well get down to something really fun because that's a now act.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been married a long time. I've had loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of sex.
Yeah.
And every time I'm with my wife, I've learned to understand I don't know what she wants that moment.
Yeah.
I used to think I knew. And then as we opened up our relationship to questioning stuff with each other, I realized, you know what? You're alpha and ask.
Yeah.
So that leads me to my favorite agreement that I believe everyone should have with every human being they interact with. So if you got a husband or you got children or you work with someone, like you two collaborate here on this podcast, here's the number one agreement. And that is you have to ask for what you want when you want it.
Yeah.
By doing that, you never have to think about what's going on in their mind.
Yeah, exactly. And it establishes more intimacy and understanding with one another. So it does definitely help with communicating and being clear and not being afraid to ask for what you want, because a lot of people are timid, in every relationship situation. They're like, "Oh, I don't know if I should say it like that," like
they're afraid of offending the other person.
Don't be afraid of offending people, because you have to be confident in taking up the space that you take up, and you have needs, and you have to be confident in fulfilling those needs in whatever way you can. So
if you're shy about asking, what does that tell you?
Yeah, that you're not very confident.
Don't have a lot of self-worth.
Yeah.
You got to have self-worth, and that means you got to say, wait a second, I accept myself as I am, therefore I'm worthy of more.
Yes.
I'm worthy of asking.
Exactly.
Yes. That's hard for people. That's because we're not taught that.
It is really hard for
that's
people.
That's narcissistic.
Exactly. We were talking about self-care and how we've been taught over the years that self-care is selfish and that it's a negative thing. And it's actually quite the opposite, because you can't love or take care of others unless you take care of yourself first. So, it's just one of those things that you have to unlearn and then relearn what the truth is, instead of what you've been taught by society or religion or your parents and all of their scars.
Plus, I think if you're focusing on what you need, and also remembering, like if you're married, what does my spouse need? It's reciprocated, and if you both are doing the same thing, and it's just a beautiful.
It just happens.
It happens, yes.
Mm-hmm. But that's
easy.
Yeah,
That's the way it should be. I have a belief that relationships are easy.
Yeah.
Most people say relationships are hard. I don't see it that way.
Yeah.
If you put unrealistic expectations on your partner, that's the one thing that'll make it bad. The other thing is, and the most single value that everyone has, number one over any other value, is people want to feel free.
Exactly. And
if you're in a relationship and your partner's controlling you, you'll take it for a while, and then it's going to hit the fan.
Yep. I've been there.
Definitely.
You want to feel free.
Yeah, I've been on both sides of that, so I totally understand that. Like, I've been the controlling person because I always felt like I had to, but then I've also been on the other side of it and been controlled, and I hated both. Both of it was miserable for me, and the other person too. So, yeah, definitely having unrealistic expectations of anyone is going to set you up for a disappointment.
Yep.
And I think too, when you say unrealistic expectations, the more I study it, I realize that's the source of all depression, anxiety, everything. And it's both unrealistic expectations that you have built for yourself and those that you have blindly accepted that others have built for you.
Yep.
Oh.
Like the programming that we get from movies and music that teaches us that you need to be in a relationship. If your relationship doesn't look like this, or, you need to be striving for this, it's like, no. You need to be striving for loving and accepting yourself. That's it.
I say that all the time. People say, well, you're a minister. You should dress more like a minister. I go, no.
Don't do it.
Dress to feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
It's your happiness. Exactly. It's your happiness. It's your authenticity. It doesn't have anything to do with anybody else.
I mean, I've always seen fashion as a self-expression. I mean, I'm in the past I've known for making my hair blue or whatever. I mean, me and Jessica are kind of the same like that. We like enjoy it, and I'm always the rebellious one. If you tell me, hey, you can't dress like that, I'm like, I'm gonna do it more. Just
You're so
my
funny.
personality.
I've always been doing what I want, you know. I don't really pay attention to what people have said.
Jessica's very good at that. She's very good.
I'm good at ignoring people.
She's really good about just like not taking things personal. Where I've been the opposite. I get really affected by how other people think of me and act towards me. I get all and at the end of the day, I'm like, well, if they don't like who I am, then oh well, that's their problem, not mine.
As long as you're happy and you're being authentic, that's all that matters.
Yeah, we don't need to explain ourselves or justify ourselves to anybody.
So I'm going to throw something pretty controversial out there.
Okay.
It's fun.
I'm ready for it.
Let's get it.
I deal with a lot of people in my role.
Yeah.
And people are always coming to me and said, Lee, you have to care about this person's result. I look at them and go, no. It's like even with my wife. I don't care about the result that she gets. Do you know why I don't care?
You have no control over it anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jess, you're like a minister. I'm going to bring you into a company and take over for me.
I will be glad to visit.
She is the reason that I wanted us to start this podcast, because Jessica she really gets good intuitive messages, and she knows. And she knows how to put it into words and share it.
Everybody can do it, though, Krystal. That's what I'm trying to teach her, is that everybody has access to their higher self, their God self, and they can get the same messages. But it's all about meditation and allowing yourself to understand things clearly and put it into words so that other people can understand what you're trying to say. You know, because it's really the universe talking through each one of us. It's talking to itself.
And you said my favorite word, and that word is meditation.
I love it too.
That is a single thing I wish I could get everyone to do.
Yep.
Because it is the single best self-care. It's the single best recharge. It's the single best relieving of stress
and pain.
Anything. And I have studied all over the world. I have been with gurus in India and Tibet, on Mount Kailash.
Yeah.
Been in the jungles of Peru. I've learned from the people here. I've done more things than I ever dreamed I would, and I know there's a bunch more I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I really realize as much as I meditate, I'm an infant.
Exactly. We're barely scratching not even the surface of what we are. It's crazy.
Not even the surface. And I can easily sit for an hour, not move, be totally still. Still, my monkey mind will play.
Yeah.
Then I'll have seconds where, I'm in the zone. But you don't even know when you're in the zone, because if you're in the zone and you know you're there, you're really not there.
Yeah.
To be in the zone means you don't know nothing.
Yep.
And when you know not something, that's your ego.
Yep.
So it's really sort of interesting, this idea. Technique that I'm using right now that I really, really, really am enjoying. It's from an Indian guru who's no longer alive by the name of Osho.
Osho, okay.
And he wrote and he talked about how focus these two eyes, your third eye, right between your eyebrows. So you've got your eyes closed and you've got your focus there.
Yep, and it's like a screen.
And then just start bringing your breath there and noticing your breath at your third eye, and that's all you do.
Yep.
Whoa.
I also have taught my daughter that technique too, because she was having trouble sleeping for a little while, and I was like, all right, then let's do this. And I taught her how to do the third eye here, focus your two eyes while they're closed up to your third eye, and just breathe and just let yourself just focus on your breathing and don't worry about thinking about anything else. And she literally falls asleep in like 5 minutes now. And that's her routine every night before bed. and it's beautiful because she's only
I
9.
needed to do that. I needed to do that last
Yeah,
night.
yeah. I've had, and like the energy has been so intense in the world lately. It's been so intense that I feel like a lot of people are struggling with sleep lately. Over the past week or so, it's been really high. So
let's come back to that energy of the past week, because we were talking about that earlier and we really didn't go very deep into that.
Yeah.
And in my role as a minister, I don't take sides politically.
Me neither.
I do not take sides politically, because guess what? There is as much good with the former president as perceived bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's as much
Correct.
good with the new president as perceived bad.
Yep.
They're imbalanced.
Right.
And here's what's happening. They are bringing out, the last 4 years, we have brought out more of the underlying racism, more of the underlying greed that we didn't even know was there, but was always there.
Always been there.
Always there. So now maybe some of us can heal from
Yep,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're bringing that to light, so we're putting the spotlight on the things that need healing. And that's what a lot of people in the spiritual communities that I'm part of, they've been talking about the actual light on the Schumann resonance, how it's actually a lot more over the past week, too. I think they said the number was 6,000, and it never had been over like 50 or something like that. Yeah, I have to look into it even deeper, but that's what they were saying, and they were like, the number's at 6,000, and that's why a lot of people are having a hard time sleeping too, because there's so much light hitting the Earth's aura.
Well, yeah, because you've got the political system,
Mm-hmm.
you've got the economic system, where some people, it hasn't really affected me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's affected my center because people aren't coming on Sundays because we can't do live services, yada, yada. But there are people
Yeah.
out there that haven't worked, that have no money,
Mm-hmm.
are struggling beyond belief.
Yeah.
And then you've got this whole idea of this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
every day we're being bombarded by fear.
Yep.
You know what? I don't see anyone saying, I don't see a doctor coming on saying, hey, we understand that when the immune system is working, this pandemic won't touch you.
Exactly.
So, hey, everybody, here's the prescription. Meditate every day.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, take vitamin C, vitamin D3, zinc,
Yep.
drink a lot of water, and find a deep breathing program that will work with you.
Yeah.
And if you do all that, your body will thrive.
Oh,
You're gonna be
yeah.
fine.
So,
Definitely.
speaking of deep breathing programs, Wim Hof, I don't know if you've heard of Wim Hof, but he's amazing. My parents do Wim Hof like every day, and it is so cute. They do it together down on their yoga mats, and I'm just like, you guys are amazing. But, so Wim Hof has been one that I've been wanting to try because I haven't
Wait
done
a
it.
second. You just said wanting.
Yeah, no, I know, because
Oh,
I tried it one time, and I
yeah.
felt like I was going to
Are
pass
you-
out
are
because
you
I
a
was breathing.
wanted woman?
No! But
You
yeah,
just said it.
I know.
So I think I love your parents,
Yeah.
because my wife and I for a year and a half have been doing Wim Hof every morning at 5:15.
That's awesome.
Yes, they
We
do it early too.
We do the 4 rounds where you've got a minute and a half hold between the first 2 and 2-minute hold between the second 2. After
Yeah.
we finish the Wim Hof breathing, we do 30 minutes of silent meditation together every single.
That's
awesome.
awesome. Yeah, they do
Very
it
good.
at like 5 in the morning sometimes, and then my mom even jumped in our pool during the winter time because she was like, I want to try it. So she did. She jumped in the cold pool, and she was like, it's amazing. I was like, you're crazy.
Which I had the
it's
cold
so
pool,
cool.
I would do it.
Yeah. So she's been really enjoying that, the whole cold pool thing, and doing Wim Hof, and it's been really helping them a
I
lot.
wonder. I don't know if that's what my mom does some kind of breathing exercise too, but I don't know.
You
what
should
it's
check
called.
out Wim Hof, Krystal, because I'm going to start doing it.
Okay, I'll look
gonna
at it.
hold
'cause,
you to
yeah,
that, Jeff.
I
my
am.
mom's
I am.
doing something.
Because it's actually,
What
like,
you
if
want?
you
Tell us
think
what
about it, breathing is life. Breath is life. And so when you breathe into yourself and you're, like, doing the whole exercise, you're oxygenating your blood, and oxygen purifies. So Like, it's just like we watched that, how they purify water in France. They use oxygen.
Yes.
Our body is also part water, mostly water. So, like, oxygenate your body and clean your body, cleanse your body. And yeah, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
So take it even a step further. And now I'm going to really get into more of the Eastern.
Yeah.
Because when you're taking the deep breaths,
Mm-hmm.
you are oxygenating your body. You're bringing your body back into homeostasis because your body's basically acidic.
Yeah.
And oxygen will help bring it back into pH balance so your body can function.
Mm-hmm.
But in the East, they talk about there's also something that's with the breath that science cannot prove, and they call it prana.
Yeah.
And you said it with one word. You said the word life.
Mm-hmm.
So prana is simply life energy
Mm-hmm.
with which science cannot explain. But if you're doing this breathing with that consciousness and you're breathing in this energy, you've got an energy source that can't be depleted.
Exactly.
People walk around, oh my God, they sucked the energy out of me. My job sucked the energy. No,
No.
breathe.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
I agree with all of that. I'm so happy that you came to join us today.
This has been really,
This was
really
a great conversation, but we do have to sign off soon, so we wanted to thank you for coming on here and sharing your wisdom with us. And anytime you want to come back, just let me know because we love having you.
Yeah.
Jess,
Please,
I would be happy to join you again, but I'm going to put it back on you because it's
Okay.
your podcast. When you want me, you ask me,
I will.
and I'll make it
Sure.
so.
Perfect. I appreciate you.
And
And
ladies, I want to tell you, I am so honored to spend the time with the both of you because I see the beauty of your energy.
We
Aw.
see
And I
it.
want
We
you to
see
know
it
in
in
my
you
heart,
too.
I'll know only great things for you. So
You
bless
too.
you.
We feel that too.
Aw,
Bless you too.
Yes, we loved having you on the show. I
Yeah.
appreciate everything you've said. Everything you said has been really, really good. It just reaffirms everything that we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely, if you could like tell people where they can hear more from you, that would be great. Because
I also have his links in our description of the video too.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I have his Facebook and his YouTube links in the description of this video. So if you guys watching want to check his pages out, definitely do it. Reverend Lee is amazing. He does talks every week, so be sure
You
to
can
check
talk
that out.
today. You can
Yeah.
watch me every day on
Yeah.
Facebook at 8 a.m. Or
Yeah.
if you want to join me at 7 a.m., you can join me for meditation on Zoom. Just go to my
Oh, yeah.
website, Agape Spiritual
Fun.
Center.
I'm gonna do that too.
And you're in Texas, right, Reverend? You're in Texas.
I'm
Nice.
in a suburb of Dallas. Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Awesome.
Perfect.
I hope to come visit soon because I'm hoping to go out to Texas within the next year.
There
Yeah.
you go. Do it when COVID's done, okay?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, once
Love to meet
COVID's over.
Krystal.
That's why I haven't
I
gone
know.
anywhere.
I know, us too.
I'm stuck over here on the island. I'm in
Yeah,
Hawaii.
she's in
so
Hawaii.
my time difference is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Which
so it'll be-
island are you on?
I'm on Oahu.
My parents lived on Maui for 35 years, so I've been over to Hawaii 60, 70 times.
I
Yeah,
love it.
it's amazing. I noticed that you say aloha. He signs off with aloha. And so I was like, oh my gosh, he's so perfect.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's great. She does too.
It's my
And I could
thing.
say
My family's
mahalo.
Hawaiian.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah,
all good.
mahalo.
Yeah. Oh man.
All good.
Okay,
Love it.
well,
Love
we
it.
definitely have to get going, but I love that you joined us, and I'll be in touch with you again in the future for sure. And definitely check him out, guys. So,
Yeah.
all right,
Bye,
take
all.
care. Bye,
Aloha.
Reverend.
Aloha.
Okay, perfect. That was amazing. Let me
was
switch
so
the scene.
good.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad that we had him on here with us because I was feeling like we need an outsider's, addition to kind of, bring a little bit more to the show for you guys because we want you guys to know who we are watching and who we're inspired by. And he was someone that I found through one of my friends, and he inspired me because he was speaking truth that resonated with me. So I feel like, guys, if you guys find anybody that resonates with you, share them with us because we want to know who's
Okay.
resonating with you guys as well.
Yeah, because there's a lot of like I keep thinking about that. Like we don't need to be confined in like who we're getting little tidbits of positivity from. It doesn't matter,
Mhm.
what what faith they are, what not faith they are. If they're spreading love and positivity, then that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I support it. I mean, you support it.
Yeah. I mean,
And
from
that's
my
why we wanna-
perspective, love is God. And so if we're talking about love, we're talking about God, and that's always good. So that's just where I come from, and I feel like he kind of resonates with that same message. So, I feel like it's good. If it's good, it's good, right? So, and it's all good.
Oh,
It's all
well, I mean,
good, and it's always now.
that's why we were talking about truth and
Mhm.
and what is truth, and I agree with you. If it's a good loving thing, then it's true.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess that can be subjective to some, right?
I
Maybe.
don't think so, because I feel like if people are really honest and they really see things from the highest perspective, then they're going to see that all is love and fear is a lie. Like we talked about that
Mhm.
before. All fear is a lie. So
Yeah.
things that resonate with fear are not true. And we don't need to worry ourselves with things like that. We need to focus on love, build the world that we want from within ourselves. So anyway, that's just how I see how I see the world.
Yeah, I definitely want to go deeper in on, discussing personal revelation. I know we kind of touched on that with him, and
Mhm.
also about fear. I mean, the other day I met with a new family, and we kind of talked about what is the fear? What's the fear that everybody's freaking out about? And at the end of the day, it's death, really, right? They're
Mhm.
afraid of dying, and really,
Or
is
their
death the
family
worst?
dying. Yeah.
Or their family dying. I mean, is death the worst possible scenario?
Death doesn't
I don't think
exist.
so. Death doesn't, like, we
Death doesn't exist. Okay?
no.
We are we are eternal. And so
Yep.
these bodies are just, one of our images that we are portraying to ourselves. And so death is just an illusion of this world that we're in right now. This
Yes.
this
And
world that we're experiencing.
if all of us can harness that, even me with my bug yesterday.
Oh, I
So
know, that was hilarious.
So Jessica and I were setting up for the podcast. I know people are like, "Where's your Hawaiian background?" I moved my entire podcast room into my daughter's room because she doesn't sleep in here. It's more of her playroom, and it has a lot more space.
Mhm.
And while I was in here setting up, there's this new bug that's come into my house that I don't know what it is. It kind of looks like a spider slash hornet slash something else. I don't know what it is. But it was in the room, and I was looking at it, and Jessica's like, "It'll be fine. Just put it outside." I'm like, "I'm not touching it."
You don't have to touch it.
It's like right here, and it's flying at me, and I'm off screaming. It flew into my bedroom, and so last night, like, I was like, "David, find the bug." He couldn't find it, so I wish he would have just said, "Yeah, I found it."
Yeah. But
But
no, okay, just
I
put it in
shouldn't
a
be afraid.
cup.
What am I afraid of? It's gonna sting me. It's gonna bite me. Like, am I gonna die from it? Like, at the end of the day, if I realize if that did happen, I'm gonna be okay no matter what, then that fear of that bug goes away. I know it's still really
Yeah.
hard. I'm still conditioning myself. It's just like me wanting to go surfing. I'm very
Yeah.
afraid of a shark that might
It's a
bite me, but
process.
it's you gotta realize what you're afraid of and realize what is that fear really. And I hope for us to touch on that maybe next week.
Mhm.
And if there's things that you guys want to discuss more or hear more about,
Yeah.
please let
Or
us
if you
know.
have
Send us.
questions, if you have questions for us, or if you have questions for Reverend Lee, I'll be sure to pass anything on to him that you guys
Yeah.
might want to talk about. Like, if you guys didn't get a chance to pop in while we were live, hit me up on Facebook or hit us up on Instagram, anywhere you guys can reach us, and then just let us know, like, what you guys want to hear more about. Because we want to be sure to research and touch on the topics that are interesting to you.
Yeah, because I mean we're trying to share with you guys what we're learning. I mean that's the reason we started this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never, like Reverend said, I know is a bit like not. He said, "Don't say I know because then it limits you."
It does.
And I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like that resonated with me so much because I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
You may know something today, but tomorrow you might learn something new, and then
Yeah.
it changes. And I think that's the way life was meant. We are always constantly growing. It's
Yeah.
never an ended, growth is never an ending thing. You're
Yeah.
constantly growing.
Exactly.
And
We're
so,
blooming.
we want to continue to learn from others. And collaboration, we talked about that yesterday, is huge. Like,
Yeah.
collaborating in all facets is how we grow even more.
Yeah, we build
Learning
each
from
other up, right? So that's
Yes.
the thing. That's what we are trying to focus on here with our podcast too, is we want to bring other people on that might not have like a super huge following or whatever, and we don't have a super huge following either, but together
But
we
we want to
are
build each other.
we want to build each other up energetically with our conversation, because that is really powerful. But also it's good for anybody who wants to watch it too, so we want you guys to
Right.
to receive the benefits of whatever we might be talking about, if you do resonate with us, and we appreciate you spending your moments with us, so
Yeah, we want to
Yeah.
help. We want to help remind you of your power,
yes,
as well as remind ourselves. Like, we all have this amazing power to be happy, to have joy.
to build the life
to-
that we want. We're not
Yes,
we're
we
not
all have it.
stuck. We're not stuck. If we feel stuck, like I have felt stuck, I'm still on this journey of like understanding myself and growing, and I'm at this one place right now, and it can feel like you're stuck sometimes, but we're not
Yeah.
stuck. We're flowing energy, and we're ever moving and ever growing, and we're just here where we are in this moment for
And
a
I-
lesson that we need to learn. And once we grow past that lesson, then we will never have to revisit it again, because our
Correct.
choices, the things that we decide to do, would determine where we're going to be. So this is what it is right now.
Exactly. You don't give up.
Yeah.
Keep pushing. And that can be very literal, and that can be very metaphorical.
But that's the thing, though. You don't have to push, right? Because, like, pushing makes you think that you have to try so hard, right? But, like, if you just flow with the universe, you're always going to be where you are meant to be,
Yeah.
where you're needed to be, for whatever reason. If it's a lesson for you or if it's a lesson for someone else, you're always going to be where you need to be. So,
Exactly. And
You know.
and sometimes, these lessons aren't always meant for us to, some people ask, why is this happening to me? And sometimes the lesson is happening to you because you need to learn something. And sometimes the lesson's happening to you because you're meant to teach somebody something.
and we
later
all
on.
energetically agree to experience this with one another. So
Yep.
that's one thing that we have to remember. And a lot of people don't like to take responsibility for that because they don't remember. But when you remember that you agreed to be here and you agreed to experience these things with one another, whoever's in your life, that's your agreement. That's your energetic agreement. And we do make agreements even now, like every day, when you agree to interact with people or you agree to respond to someone, So that's an energetic agreement that you're putting yourself in that situation. So we have to take responsibility for ourselves.
Yes.
So
And life is not meant to be peachy all the time. If it was,
No.
what would we
Well, we
learn?
talked
How
about
would we grow?
contrast.
Yeah, you
You
have
know?
to have it. You have to have
And
it.
it's
or you
all
never.
it's all love, though. The contrast, it might not feel like love to your ego, but from the higher perspective of things, it is love. And if you grow from it, you can do well. If you choose to be a victim and choose to play the victim all the time, you're not going to grow. You're just
You're not gonna grow.
you're going to stagnate yourself.
Yeah, and I said I look forward to the trials. I guess I don't look forward to them, but I look forward to the light at the end of them and what I learn from them, because
Yeah. I'm thankful
just-
for everything that I've been
I'm
through.
so thankful. I'm thankful for the interactions of people that maybe weren't great. Like, sometimes you come into contact with somebody that really tests you.
Mhm.
But I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
Because they helped me be who I am.
Once you grow past
And-
that experience with them, then you don't ever have to have that experience again with anybody else either.
Right.
So
Exactly.
you're choosing, and it will pop back into your life. Like, I know for me, in my experience, like I've had relationships where it was very not good, right? It was just super toxic both ways. And that experience is something that now kind of tries to pop back into my life, and I'm like, no, I don't need to interact with you anymore. I learned my lesson. Like, we're good. I'm good. I know what's mine. I know what I struggle with, what I deal with, and what I'm trying to learn and how I'm trying to grow. And I know what's not mine, right? And so it's that self-awareness that's important, to get familiar with yourself.
Yes. And
Learn
about
you.
I had an experience yesterday that I hadn't had in a while, particularly with Brad, and I'm still making the same mistakes I did before, and I recognized it yesterday. I'm like, all right, you're still doing the things you usually were doing before, and you know that those don't work. But sometimes you get caught up in the moment, and you forget to think, and you forget to take a step back and breathe. And I thought about it a lot, and I'm going to keep trying to not do the same things I did before, because the same results continue to happen.
Exactly. It's insanity when you're doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result, So the thing is to remember is that, you tried it that way once, twice, 3 times, a million times before. So now it didn't work for you. So now what is a new way that you can choose to respond? And we'll see what happens from that. And if you respond with love, it negates all of that negativity. It pushes it out. Because love is the only thing that can drive out hate, right?
Exactly.
So that's what I have to remember too. That's my lesson too. It's all of our lesson. If we're having a negative experience with someone, understand that person, accept them, that they are the way that they are. They're probably never going to change, and it's not up to you one way or another. So accept them for who they are and where they're at in that time. But you can choose to interact with people, or you can choose to not, right? You get to decide that for yourself.
I think it's difficult when it's like, in my situation, it's
it's your family. You live with him.
My family, somebody that lives with me.
I get it. But at the same time, we choose our battles even in the same house, because you have the ability to remove yourself from the room, give yourself some time to think about how you want to respond, and then go in later and talk to him about things in a different way, from a different perspective, a loving, like, maybe we shouldn't do this, or,
Actually, and I think it was because of my mom. She got him to leave, which he's struggled with. When there's like a thing going down, he won't leave, and it makes it more fiery, And he left because everybody kind of
dispersed.
We haven't had that happen past as often. So you're right. Sometimes we need to take a step back, take a breath, and try again. Try to have the conversation again. Some things are important that you have to have a conversation with those
but
people.
Not right in the heat of the moment, though.
No,
we want to give ourselves time away. Take a step back, take a breather, like gather yourself, gather your thoughts, and put it into words that you would want to hear, right?
Exactly.
If you were in that situation, how would you respond best if you were the one receiving that, right? And so that's how we gotta kind of like deal with those situations. But I know you're doing good. You're on your journey, and Brad's on his own journey too, and he's learning and he's growing and he's dealing with a lot of stuff too. So we have to understand that about one another. And we don't always know what each individual is going through or what they're experiencing internally. And so we need to just be loving and be like, okay, I see where you're at right now, and I know that you're not going to be there forever. But it helps people get out of that faster if we're loving.
Yes.
So anyway, we went over time.
We're good.
Okay.
We are going to be making some changes, and we're going to see if they work. We normally stream live on Facebook and YouTube, but we're thinking of trying to stream live on Facebook and Twitch starting next week.
Yep.
We're pretty sure it's going to start next Wednesday.
Yeah.
But we're going to give it a try, and you'll still get our videos on YouTube where they're just going to be uploaded, so you probably won't see them until Thursday.
Yeah, it just won't be live on YouTube.
But you can watch us live on Facebook and live on Twitch. and then you can watch the replay on YouTube after. We're trying to find a way to reach more ears, and we're also trying to find a way to have a little more fun, and
Yeah.
just do
We
something
have
a little
fun.
different.
We have fun, but sometimes I feel like we get a little too serious.
Kind of
And
like what the Reverend was saying, like if you
Yeah.
focus on the shadow work,
Mhm.
sometimes it attracts things. And not
Mhm.
saying that we're really focusing on anything negative on
No.
the show, but
No.
it's serious a lot of the time on
Yeah.
Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And
Wednesdays are like
Jessica, we were feeling like we need to have some breakup in it where it's not always serious. We're having a little fun. So
Yeah.
we're gonna start some stuff on Twitch. We're also gonna start another day where we have like an hour of fun where we're just like playing games and chatting and talking about like fun stuff.
Yeah,
not
just
always
hanging
serious.
out.
Kind of like with Far Out Friday, we're actually going to take a break from Far Out Friday for a little bit and just kind of see how this new Twitch thing goes. And we'll be posting the times and when we're on and all that if you want to catch us there. If you don't have a Twitch account, definitely get one. Then you can watch us on Twitch because our second live stream will only be on Twitch.
Yep.
So you'll have to have a Twitch account on there, but it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we're excited to see where that goes.
Yeah.
And, please let us know if you are like, wait a second, don't leave me.
No, we're not leaving, you guys. We're going to post all of our links and our schedule on all of our social media so you guys don't miss it. And we really hope to see you guys on Twitch. It's easy to make an account, and you don't even have to make an account to watch our show on Twitch if you don't want to.
No.
So,
right? Oh, yeah. You don't need to have an account. To
yeah,
watch. That's right.
but if you want to, feel free. It's a great platform. So yeah, we're gonna be moving over to that, and I'm really excited about that. Actually, it's gonna be fun.
Me too. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. We already discussed we're gonna play. What's the game we're gonna play?
Well, I don't know if it's available anymore. I just tried to look it up the other day, but we want to do this drawing game, and there's a bunch of different online games that we can
Like
play.
Pictionary? Is that what it is? Pictionary? It's like
It's kind of like that, yeah. Where one of us draws something and the other one has to guess what it is.
we could play charades.
It's gonna be really easy for me because Krystal's really good at art, and I'm not. I'm not so great at art.
I'm not always so good at art.
Oh, stop it.
You're so funny.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. We really had a great day today talking to Reverend Lee, hanging out with you all. Pockets, Arlene, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for showing up for us every week. And
Renee was on
and
too.
Renee. Yeah, everybody who shows up for us. We really love you guys, and we appreciate everything from you. But definitely be sure to follow us on social media if you don't already. All of our links are in the description of the video on YouTube, and they're everywhere.
Yes.
Follow us on there because then you're going to be able to see our new schedule for Twitch, and our links and everything will all be in there as well. So we love you guys.
If you know anybody that would be a good person to interview, please let us know. We'd love to talk to them.
Yeah. All right.
We love you.
Love you. Have a great day.
See you next week.
See ya.